So I'm taking a break in writing today, and I was thinking about what drug I would do with Donald Trump. So it's no secret, I don't like Donald Trump. I've never liked him. I didn't like him long before he was a political figure. I didn't like him when he was The Apprentice. I would describe him as alarming. I find Donald Trump's presence alarming. I don't like his body shape, and I don't like the way he moves. Like, you can give me any political argument against the Democrats, and I'll still be voting blue because I just hate having to see Donald Trump or hear his voice. That said, if I were to have to, let's say, go to the Madonna Inn up north. Relax, it's weed. If I were to go up north with Donald Trump, what drug would I want to do with Donald Trump? So I don't want to drink with Donald Trump, which makes sense because he doesn't drink. But I also feel when you have a personality like Trump's, like this big, brash personality, I feel like drinking with him, he would just become annoying. He would talk too much. So I don't want to drink with Donald Trump. I don't want to be sober with Donald Trump. I don't want to do salvia with Donald Trump because I don't think he would have the patience for it. And, you know, salvia is a really terrifying dissociative experience. When I was younger, it was legal. And this shit's much more powerful than DMT or acid or anything. It takes you to another world. I went to a world where I was part of a zipper. It was terrifying. So salvia is out. Although I'd like to see him do salvia. Remember when internet comment etiquette used to do salvia? That's fun to watch. So I would pay $12 to watch a video of Donald Trump doing salvia. And I would pay $5 just to know that it happened. Weed. I don't want to smoke weed with Donald Trump because I feel like I'd talk too much. When I'm high, I'm hyperverbal. Any interlocutor sort of interacting with me gets sucked into the vortex of basically watching the Max show, or I'm silent. And so I don't want to be talking a lot to Donald Trump, and I don't want to be listening a lot to Donald Trump. So weed's out. You don't want to do cocaine with Donald Trump for obvious reasons. I mean, cocaine is a harmful drug, but you should really only do it with like your best friends if you're going to do it, or someone you really like. You shouldn't be doing it with someone you don't like or are politically different than, because that's throwing gasoline on a fire. Acid's too long. I would like to see Donald Trump on acid, but it's too much of a time commitment. And in case it isn't fun, I don't want to be with Donald Trump for 9 hours. You know, no matter where we are, even if we're somewhere beautiful, when I look at him, he's always sweating. And I just don't like the idea of, like, I feel like he'd start to get that old man smell, probably like Joe Biden has, that like smell where you're like, they let you be president, you musty, dusty old, what other presidents? For a while, our presidents didn't have that smell. Like even Reagan, whose politics I hate, he looked like he smelled good. George Sr. probably had the bad smell. Jimmy Carter, for some reason, I always imagined smelling like pine, just something lovely. I imagine Jimmy Carter like walks in, you smell like his heart and his soul, and you experience him completely. Don't want to do ecstasy or Molly with Donald Trump. I just don't. I've been staying away from them anyway because I have sort of bad emotional boundaries. So when I'm on Molly, I like give too much. And I don't want to form a deep, meaningful, romantic connection with Donald Trump because I don't like the way he looks. And like I said, I get the impression that he smells. So I don't want to do that. And also, he always wears his suits. I want to see Donald Trump. Okay, I have a drug I will do with Donald Trump, but he has to do it in a very contained way, and he has to follow my rules. I want him to wear a panda bear kigurumi with a name tag that says Don Don. So I call him Don Don. And I can't see much of him. And in the panda bear kigurumi, he'll almost look like a panda bear, like a big fat panda bear with just Donald Trump's little face. And I'm liking that. I'm vibing with that. Okay, I think it would have to be mushrooms. I think it has to be mushrooms. And I think it would be like a low dose, top of the day. We're going in 11 a.m. and we're both going to do the same amount, and powdered. And, you know, I barely do drugs really anymore. I smoke weed, and that's sort of my drug now, because I like barely drink anymore. It happens in your 30s. You look at your life, you look, oh, most of the bad decisions in my life have involved alcohol. Maybe I should just not drink so much of that. But Donald never drank, so he never learned that lesson. But I could teach him some lessons on mushrooms. I give him a full-on shaman experience. So we get started at 11. He has to wear the kig, and he's wearing the kig. We're sitting together, and we do the mushrooms, and then we have to be apart for an hour, because I don't want to be around Donald Trump not on mushrooms. That's the most important thing, is limiting my amount of time spent with him. And I assume the Secret Service could help me coordinate that, so I wouldn't have to be with him the whole time, and he would have like a babysitter. Maybe some of the Secret Service guys could do mushrooms. We could all get to know each other better. But I think the most important thing is, at some point during it, I want me and Donald Trump to sit on a grassy field, looking over, sort of like looking over the Pacific Ocean. And I want to say to Donald Trump, while he's just, the ocean's going wow, 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 and he's having all sorts of weird thoughts about his life and existence, probably seeing his father, probably a lot of dad stuff there. I know the feeling. So I put my hand on Donald Trump's little weird hand, and I say to him, Donald Trump, have you ever seen the movie The Bye-Bye Man? And he probably won't respond because he's tripping balls. But while he's tripping balls, I'm going to explain to him in detail the lore. First, I'm going to do full film summary. But then I'm going to do the lore of The Bye-Bye Man, because I've watched The Bye-Bye Man. I've watched The Bye-Bye Man 7 times, and there's nothing I like better than talking about it. So I want to just, while Donald Trump is just losing his mind, just like going back into his past, full ego death, I want to go like, hey, so The Bye-Bye Man, the way you get the Bye-Bye Man curse is, you know how in The Ring you watch the video and Donald Trump would probably say something like, I never saw The Ring, or like, I don't love Melania, I don't know how to experience love. And I'd be like, okay. So in The Ring you watch the video, but in real life, in The Bye-Bye Man, the way you get the Bye-Bye Man curse is you find a coin in a dresser, and then you open the coin. But then you need to, so once you found the coin, that doesn't do anything. You need to find the coin and then read. You need to peel back the thing in the dresser and read that it says Bye-Bye Man in there. And then you get the Bye-Bye Man curse. And the first thing he does is he makes you impotent. He makes it so your dick doesn't work. And the second thing he does is he changes your wallpaper. He makes you have nightmares of a train that are never explained, and of yourself naked on the tracks to this train. And then he has a dog who's like a demon who's made of fire, who comes and he scares you, but he doesn't hurt you. Or maybe he does, but it's not clear. And then eventually you kill yourself or everyone around you while yelling about the Bye-Bye Man. And if you don't do that, the Bye-Bye Man appears and he pokes you in the forehead. And that's what the Bye-Bye Man does. And I think Donald Trump would turn, tears streaming down his face. Well, his face is very fat, and he always has fake tan on. So they would be like these muddy orange tears, you know? Oh, God, beautiful. Muddy orange tears streaking around his face. And he'd be like, the cinematography in The Bye-Bye Man is actually underrated. It's a completely unique and, despite being terrible, masterfully crafted film. And you know what I would do? I would look back at Donald Trump in that moment, and I would say to him, never do mushrooms again. And he would look at me dead in the eye, and he would say, I am the Bye-Bye Man. And I just, I'm ready. I see it so clearly. I woke up this morning thinking, I would never have a drink with Donald Trump. I would never want to have dinner with Donald Trump. Forget his politics. If Donald Trump was just still a celebrity, I wouldn't want to be near that guy. I had the displeasure of meeting Harvey Weinstein once briefly, and it was awful. It was like, oh, you're just insane? Everyone's okay with that you're insane? And there's a lot of people in the entertainment industry like that. Donald Trump was one of them. He's an entertainment industry businessman. Just spilled my damn iced tea all over the floor. Someone said me and Donald would be kissing. Bro, we're not trying to kiss on mushrooms. Have you ever kissed on mushrooms? Your faces get close and the person's face goes like that. And you're like, like that. And that's anyone. That's not just Donald. Maybe you don't think I'd like lock eyes with Donald Trump, and instead of becoming scary looking, he would turn to a beautiful woman. And then we lock eyes, and I realize I've been in love with him all along. It's the face of my mother. Sorry, this is what happens. I've been writing since 10 a.m. It's 3:20. I'm writing a novel. I actually, you know what? I kind of wanted to end this stream. It might be funny if I read a little moment of my novel. Would that be fun? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, here we go. What would be a good section of my novel to read? My novel's really crazy, I think. If you're a science fiction fan, you've probably encountered crazier. But let me see. Yeah, this is good. So a kid is broken into a house and is now in the empty house looking out of the bay windows. It's at night, and it's a house that no one lives in, but it's a new house. It's very modern, and the house is evil, and he's there to kill it. He's been wrecking it with a shovel. It's a long story, but I like this section in which he re-encounters a stray dog that he has seen earlier. The novel is a memoir. It takes place over the course of about 7 years. So he saw this dog about a year earlier, and it had begun to undergo a change. And in this empty modern house in a little town in Iowa, after vandalizing the house, he re-encounters this dog. There was a tip-tap scratching noise coming in on the wood paneling behind me now, and I spun, raising the shovel. Silence. And then the scratching came again. I took a step forward and waited. The air conditioner of the house breathed to life, and I startled, gasping loudly, too loudly. Something moved. The dark silhouette of a dog suddenly lurched into the hallway I'd just come down. I began slowly walking backwards, realizing now I'd trapped myself in the kitchen. How had Big Red gotten in here? Damn it, I'd left the door open. That must have been the motion sensor light outside. Right now, Big Red was just a shape, as I had been, edging up the hallway. I bargained with myself that I didn't even know if she'd seen me. Besides, it was just Big Red, right? No, that was wrong. Something was off with her. Maybe she wasn't just Big Red. As I backed out of the kitchen around the partition into the living room, Big Red stepped into a sliver of moonlight. Patches of her fur were missing, exposing scabbed, flaky skin. She was skeletally thin, and this made her head look like a horrible mix between a baby's skull and a crocodile's mouth, all covered in dirty orange hair. She barely looked like a dog anymore, more like some sicko's gross-out sketch of an I don't know what. Big Red let out a shuddering breath and flicked her tongue like a lizard. She tilted her head, seeming to scan the room, craning her neck strangely while keeping her body very stiff. I thought she was looking at me until I realized her eyes were clouded over and crusted with nasty-looking red and black scabs. That's from my book, The Two Houses. Okay, and that's the drug I would do with Donald Trump, and those are the circumstances I would do them under. Please buy my play, Polybius, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Watch the other, my new videos, Agent of Batman, Jurassic World, Best Dinosaur Movie, and of course, the ontological horror of Toy Story 4. There's more coming. There's more writing from me coming. Just trying to figure out what's next, guys, and starting to really enjoy it. Although I guess we'll see. PCP. Come on, guys. I don't need PCP for this energy. This comes from love for you. Just kidding. I'm like this all the time.